Hello everyone, it's me, Rory Paddock from picksonthepaddock.co.uk. It is live and it is just coming up to 20 to 1 in the afternoon. If you were watching earlier, you would have noticed that I did this entire live recording, but like a numpty, pressed a little button here, which was the mute button, and decided no one was going to hear me for 10 minutes. So, second time's a charm. Hopefully end up with a bit of better luck. But without further ado, let's get stuck into today's action. It is Friday the 17th of Feb. There's 3 horses I like each way, 3 I like on the nose. I'm going to be putting them in an each way patent and a win patent, and hopefully we can bash those bookies. If you head on over to our Facebook page, you'll have seen my selections for every race at Meydan, Dundalk and at Southwell today. So hopefully we'll end up bagging a few winners. As always, any likes or any comments, very much appreciated. You can pop comments below as I'm live and it'll appear on the screen and I'll be able to show that there. So, first things first selection. We're going to do our each way ones first. Comes in the opener at Dundalk. It's the 355 and I've gone for the orange silks and green cap of Eglish. The horse has been pretty poor of late, in all honesty, but did show a little glimpse of hope in his last outing. Didn't get the clearest of runs, finished mid-division, but compared to what he'd done the previous 3 or 4 starts, it was certainly a noticeable improvement. He's now way below his last winning mark. And what's really, really interesting about this horse today, Eglish, it's really interesting to see him drop down to 5 furlongs. Now, he's a 6-year-old, but despite that, this is going to be his 68th career start. And of those previous 67, he's only raced over 5 furlong twice in his entire career. Both of them came over this course and distance, and on both occasions, he finished as the runner-up. So clearly, handles this trip and handles these conditions. Both of those runs as well came off higher marks, so he's got less weight on his back compared to them. He's not by any stretch of the imagination past it at the age of 6. He's got a really decent draw in stall 4. That should also help. And he could potentially slip under the radar and we can reap the rewards. That's Eglish to go well in the opener, the 355 at Dundalk. Sticking with Dundalk, my second each way selection comes in the 530. It's another course and distance winner, Skontonovsky. Like I said, he's a course and distance winner who's now £6 below his last winning mark. In terms of below his last all-weather winning mark. Produced a couple of solid efforts a few starts back to finish 2nd and 3rd, so clearly is more than capable. The big negative, and I have to be honest, however, is his draw. He's drawn way out in the car park in stall 15, which isn't of any use really, especially at this trip. But just to try and put a slightly positive spin on it, he does or has numerous times in the past won from way behind the pace. So as long as he doesn't end up with too much to do, where it's ridiculous, if he's perhaps the 2nd, 3rd, in the sort of 2nd, 3rd, and he gets a half decent start, then I don't think that being drawn in stall 15 is something overly insurmountable for a horse that does and has liked to come from way back. So hopefully, unlike some, it's not going to be too big a detriment for Skontonovsky. The yard as well, they're in really red-hot form. They've had 3 winners from their last 7 runners, so that's another positive. And I'm going to take a bit of the 20 to 1. It's actually a little bit bigger in some places now on Skontonovsky, going rather well in the 530. Now, my third and final each way selection comes in what I'm hoping is going to be the lucky last at Southwell. It's the 8:15, the final race of the entire day in either the UK or Ireland. And the horse is Big Impact. Previous course winner, likes it here at Southwell with the new surface. When Robin Brisland's runner last raced here, he claimed second spot off what was a higher mark that day. Less weight on his back. Should see him go closer, if not a repeat performance, and at least pick up a place. I have to admit that one of the slight concerns is that after it finished 8th of 8th last time at Wolverhampton, the vet did get called in to have a look at the horse. Nothing major was found, and I'm hoping just a blip, and whatever potential issue was just a minor thing and is long gone in the past now. Also, and I don't know whether or not to read too much into this, but the horse has been entered over this course and distance twice in the last couple of months, and on both occasions has been withdrawn, self-certified, so it's not as if a vet's gone in and said it can't race. It's owners / connections that have decided to pull the horse. Now, whether or not that, and this is perhaps the tinfoil hat person that can sometimes come out with me, and the conspiracy theorist, whether or not connections are hoping to land a decent bet with this horse and the bookmakers weren't being that generous those times. If that's the case, when we see this horse enter the stalls, especially at what is a current price of around 11-1, I'd be very, very pleased with that. Also, if you see an abundance of money come for a yard that are known to have the occasional flutter, I think that could be quite a telling sign. So I'd urge you to get on sooner rather than later for big impact in the 8:15. So those are my each way selections. I'm putting them in an each way pattern. We've got Eglish, Skontanovsky, and big impact across Dundalk and Southwell at 16, 20s, and 11-1 as of the time of recording. However, there are 3 other horses that I think we should do, or at least could do rather well. Now, these are horses that I think are more of a win selection rather than the each way ones at bigger prices. First of which, considering it's a grey and miserable day in the middle of February here in the UK, I think it's safe to say we'd all be rather over at the UAE Meydan, where the sun will undoubtedly be shining. And in the 310, I'm hoping Mimi Kikuchi, if I said that correctly, can land the spoils and claim another course win. Now, the horse itself is the only course winner in the race. The 7 runners that are set to line up. Has the form to go well once again at Meydan. Jockey Mikel Barcelona is an absolute master round this course. I'm a massive fan of Mikel Barcelona when he's got rides here at Meydan or Jebel Ali or anywhere in the UAE or Middle East. I think he rides courses like that really well. I've got to be honest, others such as I've got Asawa, Awasef, and Habuba. They can certainly cause problems. It's not a foregone conclusion by any stretch. And if this horse wasn't going to win, I imagine the winner would come out of that trio. But I'm going to side with the Saeed bin Gidea charge. Mimi Kikuchi to win the 310 at Meydan. Second selection, we come back to good old sunny Blighty, Southwell in the Midlands. The 6:15 midnight at the Oasis is the one for me. Currently, as you can see, best price there of around 11-8. Horse struck off its maiden tag last time out. Now it's making its handicap debut. I know it's perhaps a tad harsh to the other 4 runners, but I can only see the winner coming from 2. A duo that includes this selection and also fellow course and distance winner, Lady Najin. It'll be a close race, but I'm hoping that the Charlie Hills horse is the one to side with, and ends up getting their head in front again. Midnight at the Oasis to win the 6:15 for me. And last but by no means least, we head back to Ireland to Dundalk. There, 7 o'clock. And as I'm sure you can see, those silks that are synonymous with Irish racing. When you do see a horse that's owned by Magnier, Tabor, and Smith, especially running in Ireland, especially at small meetings such as this in Dundalk, then you have to take them very, very seriously indeed. That's why I'm going to plump for Lake Illawarra. Now, huge turnaround in form when it won last time out. Saw him winning here. This actually looks a pretty poor contest, if I'm being totally honest. The top weight is well fancied, but the top weight's never won before. Obviously, it represents decent connections, but this horse has been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and won at Dundalk. I think 4-1 could potentially be a very big price. Comes from a decent yard. Johnny Murta is certainly no slouch. Obviously, it's not one of the big O'Brien trio father and son training outfits, but Johnny Murta's been there and won some massive races. Also, really promising young jockey on board who takes £10 off the horse's back. And I think, like I've said, 4-1 is absolutely massive about a horse that's actually already won here at Dundalk, where many of the others haven't even placed in their entire career. Lake Illawarra to round off what I'm hoping is going to be a very profitable Friday. Those are my three in terms of win selections. I'm doing them in a win pattern. We've got Mimi Kikuchi, Midnight at the Oasis, and Lake Illawarra for a win patent. That's 7 bets. We've got the singles, doubles, and the treble. I've been Rory Paddock for picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. As always, any likes, comments, and shares, very much welcome. Fingers crossed, touch wood, and good luck if you follow.